the big H speaking English? Let's take a look. Willkommen! My name is Sean Huggins and this is React with Hugs.
I want to see how he reacts when he thinks no one's watching.
I can't help it if he's weird.
He's American.
He's going crazy with that work.
Everybody reacts differently.
I think he's weird, but that's me.
He's American, you know.
Welcome to React with Hugs. Let's take a look at today's comment of the day. So today's comment of the day comes from Bull6168, and they say, you know, Baden-Württemberg is the home from Porsche and Mercedes-Benz. Choose. Yeah, anyone who has watched this channel for any amount of time knows that I don't know anything about cars. So even though I live in Baden-Württemberg, I don't know where cars are from. I don't even know what different cars are or who makes them or what the names mean. I don't know anything about cars. I'm not a car guy. But apparently, Baden-Württemberg, my own stomping grounds, my own home, is where Porsche and Mercedes-Benz is originally from. So cool. I guess I'm in the heart of car country. Very interesting. Thank you for the comment. But anyways, let's hop into today's reaction. So this title definitely caught my eye, to say the least. The Big H Speaking English from, I guess, the Joe Rogan podcast. Yeah, I think that this could definitely be very interesting and educational. I don't know what to expect. Obviously, this could go any number of different directions, but let's find out together, I guess. So, los geht's.
One of the things in history that the status researchers really made me understand is the rise of the Nazis. That, like, growing up in the UK, is always this question: how could it have happened? How could this technologically advanced, sophisticated country descend into Nazism? And once you understand the role that status plays, it becomes completely, for me, it's crystal clear. Like, before the First World War, Germany was just absolutely killing it. They were the most successful country in continental Europe.
No pun intended, I guess.
You know, the massive, like the Apple and Google of the days, BASF, Siemens, you know, huge companies. They were producing a third of the world's potatoes. You know, like quality of life had rocketed in the early part of the 19th century. And then the First World War happened, and they just assumed we're going to kill it because we're amazing. And of course, they didn't kill it. They lost. And so that's humiliating in itself. And, you know, humiliation being the loss of status. And then there was the Treaty of Versailles, which was savage. You know, they had to give up a load of land, they had to give up their military, they had to pay the equivalent of hundreds of billions of dollars in reparations. When all that triggered hyperinflation, their economy collapsed. We took their industrial heartlands off them. So it was humiliation upon humiliation. Then Hitler comes along. And so this is the thing that we were never taught about Hitler in schools, which is probably still a bit, I don't know, it's going to trigger people, but it's the truth.
Oh boy! Hold on to your butts. Here comes a trigger warning moment.
Hitler was an incredibly successful leader of Germany for the time when he was in charge.
Okay, I think that is well documented. I don't think that's a trigger warning moment.
The first thing which was a surprise to me was that when you see those black and white films of Hitler spitting and shouting and ranting, you assume that he's talking about the Jews all the time.
Have you seen how they've translated into English now with AI?
They're going through it,
in Hitler's voice.
Oh,
I haven't seen that.
No. I saw that going on Twitter.
Yeah, it's fascinating because of AI.
Oh, okay. So this is a lot different of a video than what I was expecting when I saw the title, but wow. So AI generated Big H voice in English. Okay, this is crazy. Let's continue.
One of the things that they can do now, like that they can do even with podcasts. So this podcast, when Spotify runs its AI through it, they'll be able to translate you into perfect Spanish in your voice.
Wow.
What?
And they
Holy
have this
crap.
technology now. I know they could do it in German, Spanish, and I think French. And of course English, back and forth. So they could do that with Hitler.
For correctness, whether you believe that I have been diligent,
Oh, it's so quiet
That's
though.
amazing.
that I have advocated
It's so quiet. Can I turn it up? All right, let's see.
for you in these years, that I have been decent. I have spent my time in service of my people. Now cast your vote. If yes, then stand up for me as I have stood up for you.
See, he's talking about.
That sounds so much scarier.
Yeah, it does.
Let me hear that.
The AI voice hasn't really got the attitude.
Yeah, there's definitely some stuff lost in translation. When you come up with a speech in a native language, you take into account the specific word selection and stuff, like the best speakers, the most charismatic speakers of all time. It's like poetry, and sometimes poetry doesn't translate. Maybe the meanings might translate from one language to another, but there's subtle things that don't always translate just because you have to use different pronunciation of words and stuff. But still, it's actually really crazy to hear the Big H speaking in English and in, I guess, you know, like an AI generation of his actual speaking voice. This is fascinating.
Meine Arbeit für richtig hältst, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet.
That fucking accent, boy. Yeah. There's something about German. When you hear him yelling, you're like, instinctively. I think it's burned into us.
Yeah. But he's not. He like during the 30s, he wasn't ranting about the Jews because everybody was anti-Semitic in that period in history. But the middle classes, they didn't want to see the Jews being attacked and killed. It didn't play well, so he suppressed all of that stuff and all that ranting. Most of it, he's talking about, I'm going to restore Germany's status,
make Germany great again.
I'm going to create this Third Reich, this 1,000-year kingdom, and that's what convinced people to support him. And he did it. He did like some of the statistics are quite extraordinary. When the Nazi Party came in, a third of the population were unemployed, and by 1939 had full employment. Between 1932 and 1939, GDP went up 81%. So he was doing the thing of restoring Germany's status. And when you see that footage of people going completely mad, that's when he's reversing the humiliations of Versailles. So he took back the industrial heartland by force, and nobody stood in his way. They went mad. He took Austria. Nobody stood in his way. So it was all about the restoration of status. That's
making Germany great again. I mean, from the statistics that this guy is throwing out, seems like the economy was booming at this time.
That explains the rise of Hitler. And they did it, like there was some mad stuff in the research, like women would get swastika tattoos. They would do the Hitler salute at point of orgasm.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What? Okay. That is a little much. That's crazy.
Whoa, that's kind of hot.
Yeah. There was a butcher that was making swastika sausages. People would even name their female children after Hitler. People with tuberculosis would stare for hours at pictures of Hitler because they thought they would make them better.
What?
So again, that's another example of that status. That's how mad people go for status. It was taken away from them, and he didn't just promise to restore it. For a while, he did restore it. So that's why they loved him.
Wow, dude, that was crazy. Yo, AI is going to take over the world. There's probably a limited amount of time when I can even make these videos, because eventually, like 2 years from now or something, I'm just gonna be AI generated reaction video channel, react with AI hugs. Like, AI is moving so fast, it's just gonna be able to do everything. But it is interesting to see the Big H talking in English so that I can actually understand exactly what he was saying in his speeches, even though it was just a very small clip of one of his speeches. But yeah, it makes total sense that he would get all of this attention and all of this backing by talking about building up Germany, as opposed to what maybe a lot of people think he was talking about, which was tearing down certain demographics of people in Germany. Because the average citizen, they don't want to be harming people or fighting with people or taking people out of their homes and sending them away, or they don't want to do any of that stuff. They just want to be prosperous in their own life. So yeah, I mean, it makes total sense to me that the Big H was talking about making Germany great again, and he got a lot of backing because of it. Either way, very interesting to see with the AI generation. But as always, I'm curious what you guys, the experts, have to say about this. Let me know down in the comments below. That's all the time that I have for today, though. Thank you guys so much for being here, and as always, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.